Michigan at Ohio State. As an Ohio State grad, I wish this was more competitive, but hey, you can still bet on it. Marco, who do you like?
Wow. I like the over in this game. And RJ, after the physical game that Ohio State played last week against Iowa, came out alive, late pull out in the fourth quarter to pull that game out. Facing this Michigan defense, they're going to think they're playing flag football this week because this is probably the worst Division I defense I've ever seen.
How many of the audience right now do you think are thinking, Marco just said late pull out?
Wow.
I was wondering. But go ahead.
I don't even know where to go after that.
All right, let me ask you a question. You don't like usually to handicap big line games. It's funny because there'll be like a game on national TV or something, and you'll be disinclined to include it in the videos because they're 17-point spread or whatever. I was thinking about that when I looked at this game. That threw me because you're a motivational handicapper. You don't really get into this tight end against the 3-4. You look at situations with schedules and you look at psychology. Isn't that the ultimate factor in a high line game? Is in a way especially when you move past 21, where the favorite can almost name the score most of the time. The question is how motivated are they to dominate this team? So I guess my first question is why don't you like these high spread games more? Because there is so much psychology in them.
There is so much psychology, but unfortunately for me, what I look at with these games is once you do the handicap and say you do have that 21-point favorite and your number says they should win by 27 to 30 points, you always run the risk that when it gets to that fourth quarter, what is the head coach of that winning team going to do?
But that's the psychology, right? How motivated are they? That's fine. To me, it just struck me because you are such a psychology guy. Now, the other psychology element we've been talking about this week has been the rivalry handicap. How does the rivalry affect this game?
Well, definitely the rivalry, the motivation is on the Michigan side. They're the team that's been getting slapped around by Ohio State for the last several years.
Several. Go ahead.
All right. Well, they've won. I know they've won Ohio State's won 6 in a row and 5-1 against the spread against Michigan. The situation being here is, can they stop Ohio State? It doesn't matter. This defense is so porous. I don't think they can. But I do think that this offense is going to let them go up and down the field. I know Ohio State has a great defense, but after the physical pounding that they had last week with Iowa, I don't think the Ohio State defense is going to be as physical this week.
That's a good point. Let me ask you this. Let's focus on Michigan's ineptness a second.
You're enjoying this. This was my Thanksgiving gift to you, is to let
what's
you have
making
this,
me so
game
happy is the fact that the whole Rodriguez spread offense thing, they've given this guy 3 years. They've set the program back like half a decade, and I love it. Because they could have after they saw Rodriguez wasn't the right guy, they could have got someone else in and started over again, but they kept waiting. I hope they wait again. It's almost like with the Bengals. I hope the Bengals win out. That way they'll keep Marv Lewis, and as a Steeler fan, then we got that easy win every year. Except for last year, I guess was the big exception. Of the last 26 conference games, now what's the distinction of a conference game? In the Big Ten, it means it's probably a competitive game. And out of conference, maybe, most oftentimes not. Of the last 26, how many do you think Michigan's covered? I'm covering the number with my thumb. Right?
Michigan, it has not been good.
So 13-13 would be average. What do you think?
I'm going to say it's subpar. I'm going to say let's give them 8 wins there.
4 of 26. You would be 22-4 if all you did was fade Michigan in the conference. This is just not a very good team. Now, Ohio State is a team that I feel like you've misrepresented all year on the videos, and I'm backing up that assessment with some numbers. We talked about it last week. Let's talk about it again. 11-12 is a home favorite, Ohio State. ATS, 11 of 12. So a lot of times they've been laying big numbers like here. They keep pounding. This whole idea they're so conservative. I'm not sure the Tressel hasn't tweaked that a little bit, and the numbers seem to be backing it up. 13 of 16, 13 and 3 as a double-digit favorite. So they've been blowing out the teams they're supposed to blow out. And they've covered 47 of 67, so 47 to 20 overall. If all I said was, let's think about that, 67 games, that's 6 years. If I said you could be better than 70% by just playing the Ohio State Buckeyes 6 straight years, would you believe me? This Ohio State team is just underrated. And I think that it's another example that the line's probably a little lower because it is a rivalry game. I actually like Ohio State here, but I also tend to like your over.
Well, I definitely like the over, as I said. Ohio State's got an offense, and one of the things that's
What makes you not want to bet Ohio State here?
Just my nature, I don't like to lay big numbers because I don't want to say it. I'll open you up. I don't like getting backdoored. Okay, all right, so. There it is. So you can insert your joke. I know
Can you bleep that, or we got to leave that in?
Okay, that's why I don't like laying big numbers. But also, as I said, this was a gift to you because I know Ohio State and Michigan is such a great rivalry, and you get pleasure.
I keep it in the background.
No, but I also it gave me double pleasure because this is also gets me to have this a little shout out to one of our main guys here, co-founder with you, Johnny Detroit. All those jokes, Johnny, that you laugh at RJ's in all those meetings, this is for you.
It's kind of funny with John where they're trying. He's from Detroit and he's trying to rationalize, and it's like, well, back in 1973, we had a 2-year run where we won both times, and I guess just psychologically being a Michigan fan would be tough, and I don't understand that because I'm a Steeler fan. I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. But, I guess I do. I'm a Pirate fan. I used to be. and then psychologically, I couldn't take it anymore, and I renounced it. So maybe that's what I suggest for all Michigan fans. Just accept it and move on.
There you go. Take the over.
Now it's your turn to continue the conversation. Oh, what's your official projection? I would like to do.
I actually have Ohio State 45-24. So if you look at my numbers, I actually do have Ohio State covering.
Now it's your turn to continue the conversation with Marco and me. And next up, we're going to be talking Marco's best bet. And actually, I love the other side. There's going to be a wager, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State.